Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, we've got some information here that's just now coming across the wire. Matter of fact, it's not coming across the wire. This is information that we're digging out. And I want to thank Agent RC for this information. But China, I think the wheels are starting to come off on China's ability to control the people of Hong Kong. The information we're getting is they can't. And it looks like there's a major change about to take place. Let me first put a quick shout out to noblegoldinvestment.com. That's noblegoldinvestment.com. Folks, if you visit any of the great tourist spots in America, everything looks peachy. The gamblers and all the shows are going on in Las Vegas. The restaurants and the theaters are booming in New York and Broadway. And the galleries and the bars in Chicago are completely full. But look a little closer, because it's not all well. You can't fail to notice the uptick in the homeless population, the street people out there, and that's how it started the last time. Matter of fact, if you speak to them, some of these older folks that are on the streets are ordinary folks who fell victim to the banks and the last crash of 2008. Foreclosure, bankruptcy, they've never recovered from it. They didn't want to be there, but they borrowed up to their limits, and when it all went wrong, they found themselves destitute on the streets. The signs are all there, and this is happening again right now. Car loans at an all-time high. Credit cards are getting maxed out. The house prices, mortgage lending, it's all skyrocketing. But just like last time and the time before that, the stock market even was overvalued and began to wobble. So trust me, you're not going to want to be there when it all comes crashing down again, because the next one will take your savings with it. You need to put some of that into precious metals. You need to diversify. You need a safety net of gold or silver under those savings to protect them. Gold and silver are low-risk assets, and you can cash them out again when the danger passes. So talk to one of the specialists over at Noble Gold Investment today and see how they can help you, protect you and your family for what's coming. Colin Plume and his company, a great group of people. They're a family-owned company, Christian companies. Hey, folks, simply go to their link at www.noblegoldinvestments.com or pick up the phone and call them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Check them out, okay? You'll be glad you did. Tell them Pastor Paul sent you. All right, here's what's happening in China. And after 5 months of increasingly violent protesting, Beijing has apparently had enough of the mayor, Carrie Lam. The Hong Kong chief executive, who has been lambasted as the piglet to the Chinese leader Jinping. He's called her Winnie. She's the piglet. He's Winnie the Pooh. That's what they call them over there in China. The reports that's coming forward now is that the government in Beijing is drawing up new plans to replace Carrie Lam with an interim executive. However, the report has been strenuously denied by the Hong Kong government and even the government there in Beijing. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Hula Chunying said today that the government still firmly backs Carrie Lam and that the report is a political rumor with ulterior motives. Still, the reports are out there, rumors are flying that the government follows through with its plan. Lam will be out by March and a replacement will be installed to cover the remainder of her term, which ends in 2022. They wouldn't necessarily stay on for another term. So Lam's ouster by Beijing likely wouldn't have any impact on the protest. She hasn't exactly endeared herself to the pro-democracy movement, which has called for her ouster. But it would present another intrusion by Beijing on the city's authority and autonomy. And in the 2 decades since Hong Kong was handed back to China from the British, there is some precedence. When Tung Sheh-hao, Hong Kong's first Chinese chief executive, resigned in 2005, Donald Tsang, the most senior bureaucrat in the city, served out the remainder of the term and was reappointed chief executive for a full 5 more years in 2007. Of course, appointing another candidate to take Lam's place would be a departure from the establishment line of succession. In other words, Beijing is now running the show. And according to reports, the leading candidates to replace Carrie Lam includes Norman Chan, a former head of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, and Henry Tang, the son of the textile magnate who has also served as the territory's financial secretary and chief secretary for administration. So, guys, in other words, Beijing is choosing who's running the show instead of the people getting to vote for who takes over if Carrie Lam goes. And this is how you break down a democracy. You do it piece by piece. And you have an election, and then that person gets moved, and you don't let the people vote for the next leader. No, they're not going to let them have a vote. They're not going to let them vote. Are you serious? Vote to replace the leader they are tired of? No. China will step in. They'll make the appointment. They'll put the person in who will do their bidding. And piece by piece, they'll raise taxes. They'll tighten, they'll add more bureaucracy to trying to open businesses. They'll bring in more inspectors who will put pressure on businesses to jump through hoops. They'll tighten up the rules on the population. They'll add nickel and diming taxes everywhere. They will break the spirit of these people. And while they're doing it, they'll have people running around asking lots of questions. Who are the troublemakers? Who are the leaders? Who are the people who really want to get rid of and don't want to come underneath Chinese rule? And piece by piece, slowly, they will start to create a deep state within Hong Kong to overthrow it. They're in no hurry. China gets in no hurry. They don't care. Okay? They're in no hurry to do this. And they will watch. And they will remove. And they will eliminate those that are in their way. Pray for the people of Hong Kong. They would have been better off if China had rolled down the streets with tanks and armored vehicles than what they're about to the slow, methodical elimination of their right to free speech, their right to freedom. I'll be back with more current world events. This is the beast. You want to know how does this relate to biblical prophecy? This is the beast. This is how the beast operates. The beast wants to smother you like a python, squeeze the very last drop of freedom out of you, and then use and abuse you for their own purpose. We've been watching the deep state roots that run so deep in this country. The same tactic is going on right now. It's just there's a little bit of desperation has been exposed with the election of 2016. And that's why you see this, all of a sudden, this panic as some of the roots have been removed in the deep state. Not all of them. There's a lot of them still there. But I'm just saying, here in America, that's why you see all this hyper reaction. I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it some more. Pray for China, pray for Hong Kong. It's really amazing what's going on here. We're in the last days. It's time to elevate our prayers to the kingdom of God.